What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, y'all. All right, let me get to tagging some folks who said that they wanted to be here. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let me tag. Oh, let me tag my people. How y'all doing today? I hope y'all are doing well. Why can't I find? Oh man. Whoops. All right. We got that one. Let's see. Cool beans, cool beans. Okay, y'all. I'm super excited about this live. I am so excited about this live. As usual, this comes from direct questions from members of the community. By the way, if you have any friends who are coaches or aspiring coaches and you feel like they would get value from this group, bring them on in, sis. Bring them on in. Definitely, this is your group. I just realized this morning that I had the group set to like you could only post with approval. I'm gonna take that off. I didn't realize it was set that way. And so definitely this is your group. Post wins, post challenges, questions, all of the above. Okay, so I'm gonna take that setting off so that you guys can show up and post as much as you'd like. All right, y'all. So let's get into it. So the question I received from a member of the collective was, how can I start coaching if I am still learning? And I must say that this is something that plagued me for a very, very, very long time, right? I mean, because it's like, at what point, hey, good to see you. I can't see your name, so I don't know who you are. Let me see if Facebook will tell me who's here. I don't know who's here. Oh, Lisa's watching. Hey, Lisa girl. So this is something that plagued me for a very long time, especially in the beginning, because it felt really overwhelming, and I felt like a fraud. I felt like an imposter, right? Because like whenever you start something new, it tends to be overwhelming, right? But then there's just something specifically about the word coach that I think also like leads to even more of that imposter syndrome, because you think that a coach needs to be like super duper duper like proficient in the thing and like 100%, like I was like, do I qualify to be a business coach if I'm not a millionaire, if I'm not like a like multi six figure this that the third, right? That's what you would think. And that's what I thought. And so I came out the gate and I spent so much time doing what I call entrepreneurial procrastination. Now, what is that? That is like focusing on all the wrong things, right? And I say that with love. When I say the wrong things, I say that with love because I completely get it, right? But it was like me focusing on my website and my branding and like, what am I branding? I have no business. I've made no money, but I'm branding, right? And focusing on colors and my logo and like all of that stuff, that was a result of me feeling like a fraud and like I don't deserve to take up space in this industry because I am not like well versed. Like I haven't made it. Yeah, there, right? Like I haven't made it. So like how dare I call myself a coach? So if you are into sports, I'm not super into sports, but I've watched a few sports over the years. Okay, so I know a little bit about it. I grew up in LA, which was like a super duper sports like city. And so I grew up like down the street from like where the Lakers play. So if that means anything, Inglewood, right? Inglewood. So yeah, so think about sports and think about the coaches in sports. Have all of the coaches achieved every single milestone that they're coaching on? Lashir, you're here. Happy Friday, sis. I'm so glad you're here live. Yay. So we're talking about how can I start coaching if I'm still learning, right? So think about sports. The greatest coaches in the world did not necessarily achieve one championship ring. They haven't won a Super Bowl, most of them, right? So they haven't done the thing that they are coaching people to do. So you don't have to be like, okay. And when I say they haven't done the thing they're coaching people to do, what I mean is like, because you don't want, like, you want to stand in integrity, right? Like, you don't want to be like out here like perpetrating a whole fraud, right? But what I mean is, it doesn't mean that you have to have like achieved like, multi-millionaire status before you can like help people, right? Great point. Yeah, like it doesn't mean that at all. It just means that you understand the strategy to take someone from point A to point B. That's it. If you have a method and a mechanism to take someone from point A to point B and to give them the tools that they need to do that, then you can be a coach. And not only can you be a coach, I want to kind of convince you today why new coaches are like amazing, right? Now, yes, you grow in your craft. I've learned so much since I've started coaching that like the way I coach nowadays is so much better than it was. But I'm gonna teach you why coming out the gate, I still feel like I was a great coach. And I just stand in that truth, right? So here it is. Number one, right? Number one, like, how can you do this? Number one is recognize the beginner's advantage that you have. You actually have an advantage as a beginner. So when I started coaching, I was able to speak really specifically to what my women desired and what my women were struggling with, because I was literally just there. I was just there. I was just in their shoes. So this was like, I knew the language, I knew the terminology, I knew exactly what they were dealing with. So when I started speaking and I started saying, hey, I have this way I can help you. Let me help you do A, B, C, D. It was like, it just totally, like, people heard it and they were like, wow, she gets me. Like, I've heard people say to me, I feel like you live in my house. And I'm like, I do, because we're the same person, right? That's a beginner's advantage, right? So if I'm like leading you on a journey and I'm able to, like, I'm just 2 steps ahead of you, I am able to say, hey, there's a rock right there. Don't trip over that rock. Because I almost did, right? Oh, it's raining up ahead, sis. You may want to grab your umbrella, because I am ahead and I'm experiencing the rain. So you totally have an advantage as a beginner that I think most people don't fully recognize and realize and like capitalize on. Like, you have an advantage. Like, you speak the language. Like, sometimes when I hear coaches who have been coaching for a while, it's like I feel like they forget what it's like to be in the beginning of like let's say you're a business coach. You forget what it's like to be in the, at the very, very beginning of the journey. You like forget. But I have not forgotten, right? Because I was just there. And so you have an advantage as a beginner. So you should like take up that space and like have that ownership of like, I can do this. And not only can I'm probably very well suited to do this, to doing this, because I just achieved that transformation. And again, we're going to stand in our integrity, and we're only going to offer transformations that we can vouch for because we've done it for ourselves or someone else, right? But if you just achieved that transformation and now you want to help someone else do it, that's that's everything, because now like you get it. You get it more than someone who's been in the game for years and years and like forgets that anxiety that someone at the very beginning of the game experiences. So there is a beginner's advantage. You have that advantage. Marketing is just messaging. And when you are able to speak the exact same language as the people you're trying to serve, that is powerful. Okay, so Lashir says, that is so true. My 14-year-old nephew was helping my 10-year-old son yesterday with math, and he got it better than he... Let me tell you, this 10-year-old math, 4th grade, 5th grade math is doing me in. Like, I used to like multiply fractions, and I don't remember how to do that stuff. I have no idea. I have to look it up every time because my brain doesn't think like that. Sorry. And I know I'm a pediatrician. That is neither here nor there. All I do is use math, but that's neither here nor there. It still does not come 100% naturally to me, right? But like, that's such a great example, Lashir. A 5th grader and a kindergartner are all in elementary school. But are you going to tell me that kindergartner is not looking up to that 5th grader, and that 5th grader does not have like a perspective that can like say, hey, watch out for that lunch lady in the cafeteria, that one right there, because she tries to like jip you on the food. Like, they're both in elementary school, but that 5th grader is farther along than the kindergartner. So yes, you can lead someone just because you're beginning. Elementary school is elementary, but that 5th grader still has a way that they can like help that kindergartner as they're just starting their journey. Kay says, welcome, Kay. It's so hard to see the value you bring when you're in your own head. I get that. I completely get that. And some of the things we talked about yesterday will help you with that. But like, that's hard. Like, no matter how much people tell you how amazing you are, you need to actually believe it yourself in order to move in confidence. Yes, that is true. And there are some strategies. So I'm going to write that down. That'll be our live for next week. How to build confidence as a brand new coach. Right? Yes, I will help you with that. I will help you with that next week. So we'll make that one of our live videos for next week, because I get it. I completely get it. What helps with that, though, Kay, just like a sneak peek, what helps with that is having conversations with people. Like what I did in the beginning, and this is, I believe, the reason I've been able to have a profitable company this past year, is I spent so much time talking to my people. I was in their DMs. I'm still in their DMs. Y'all be knowing I be DMing y'all, right? So I was in their DMs. I was on Zoom calls with them. I was talking to them. When you talk to people, you really realize how, like, yes, I'm only 2 steps ahead of them, but man, I really think I can help this person because they're struggling with XYZ and I have already figured that out. But when you are literally in your own head and you're just like ruminating, right, and not having those conversations with people, that's when you can convince yourself that, oh, nobody needs this. Oh, nobody would know, right? But you really do have to know and understand the value that you bring. And part of that is by having conversations with people. Inside of my program, I teach you how to do that, like how to set up conversations that are authentic, but that give you, part of it is that it gives you a little bit of confidence, like, wow, I really can help this person. And it also gives you the language to use to be able to help someone on their journey. Okay, wow, I love that. I'm only 2 steps ahead, but I can help. What a positive mindset. Even if you're only 2 steps, you still have something to teach. So I love that you just said that, Kay. That's really the key. Right? So I was saying earlier, when you're 2 steps ahead, you can tell the girl behind you, the woman behind you, hey, there's a rock right here. Hey, watch out for that tree branch. Hey, sis, bring your umbrella. It's raining ahead. Is that not super valuable to the lady who's like, she is like, thank you so much for telling me, right? Like, thank you for helping me out. And it is hard for us in the beginning to see that, but we can absolutely help others even as we're still learning. So that's number one, is just recognizing that you actually have an advantage as a beginner. And I'm going to say number two, like how to do this, like how can I do this, right? Number two is, recognizing like what is your unfair advantage. Like if you said to someone, okay, I'm starting a coaching company on XYZ, right? And people were just like, of course you are. Like, you're so, like, this is what you do, right? That's your unfair advantage. And yeah, I say unfair, but like, this is your gift, right? This is your gift from God. And I believe we lean into our gifts in these moments when we're trying to decide, how to show up and serve. And so I talked about it the other day, like when Moses was being sent to deliver the children of Israel, and he was like, well, I can't do this. I have a speech impediment. I don't know what I'm doing. How are they even going to know, right, that you sent me? And God was like, bruh. God was like, somebody should do a translation, an AAVE translation of the Bible. That would be so dope. And God would be like, bruh, like what? Right? And he said, what's in your hand? What is in your hand? And it was like, oh, my staff. Okay, there, you use that. Throw that on the ground, right? And that turned into the miracle that he used to show up in front of Pharaoh, right? So sometimes I feel like we try to like figure out like, okay, like what's our gift? Like how can we, like, and we try to like, we stretch ourselves, right? We stretch ourselves like really like, I don't know, like how can it, like what can, and it's like, what's in your hand? What you got? God already gave it to you. He gave it to you. How about we try using that? Like there's this whole like notion in entrepreneurship, and I so pay attention to what I'm doing, y'all. What am I doing? I'm talking about how my perspective is different from everyone else's, right? And that's what I tell you guys to do, like become a thought leader, right? So like circle back to that from our prior lives, right? But there's this notion of like, oh, boss babe status. You got to work hard, grind hard. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how about can we try easy? Can we give easy a try? Let's try easy. Let's not try hard. Let's try easy. Sometimes the easy thing, like the easy way out, is the way that we can actually serve others, right? So I had this like way that like I developed this methodology for overcoming procrastination. And to me, it's like, this is just what I do every day because I have to do it every day if I want to show up in excellence. And everyone else is like, oh, you have a strategy to overcome procrastination? Teach me. And I was like, okay, right? How about we try easy? Let's try easy. Let's try what's already in our hand rather than like stretching and I don't know and trying to like, conjure up something like, what is in your hand? What do you already have? Right? What gifts have been like, that's why it was a gift, right? And shoot, I didn't write down my Bible verse. And y'all know if I don't write down my Bible verse, I can't remember it. So give me a second. But there's a scripture. There's a scripture that talks about gifts. Perfect gift Okay, I'm gonna find it. Okay, yes. Yes. Okay, I found it. Okay. Wait, let me okay. Let me hit you with the King James first, and then we'll see if we need to do another translation. But James 1:17, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. I love that scripture. So the New Living says, whatever is good and perfect is a gift coming down to us from God our Father, who created all of the lights in the heavens. He never changes or casts a shifting shadow, right? So it's like, if I gotta give, it came from God. I should probably use that to serve his people. Like, that's actually what this is about, right? And there's like, this is an aside. There is a fear of using the word coach. This has come up so much in my working with women, that like that word coach like conjures up feelings of inadequacy. Like, who am I to be coaching anyone, right? But it's really, coaching is just using your gifts to share a strategy to help someone move toward a transformation. That's how I define coaching. That's all it is, right? That's all it is. Whoops. Sorry, y'all. Can y'all? Okay, I think we're still good. All right, y'all can still see me, right? You can still hear me okay, I hope. So that's all coaching is. But for some reason, we don't want to call ourselves coaches. We want to call ourselves all sorts of things. Like, you're allowed to say, I'm coaching someone, even though I'm brand new, right? I just told you that sports teams, like, who are the greatest coaches out there? Okay, thank you, Lashir. You can still hear me. Okay, good. The greatest coaches, what was his name? Phil Jackson? Wasn't he the coach of like Chicago? He coached Chicago and also LA, right? Why am I blanking? I see their faces, but I'm blanking on them. He ain't never won no kind of ring. He ain't won no kind of championship ever. But he is one of the greatest coaches. You can do this. This is available to you. Okay? And you can stand in your authenticity and call yourself a coach and just be like, that's what I am. And I remember in the beginning, I was like really hesitant to call myself a coach. I was like, oh yeah, I'm starting a course and a program, right? And instead of just saying, I'm a coach and I'm starting a coaching company, it was like, right? Because like, if I'm a coach and Brene Brown is a coach, like, what do I have on Brene Brown? But Brene Brown has her gift and I have mine, right? And that's okay. And we all have to start somewhere. And someone said to me one time, how do I start coaching? And I said, you start coaching by coaching. That's it. Now there's this other like aside. I have a lot of asides today, guys. Just because I hear so much in like conversation. Some women will say, well, don't I need a certificate to coach? No. In order to start coaching, you need to start coaching. That's it. You need to have a proven process and a documented transformation that you can take someone from, in terms of taking them from their point A to their desired point B. And you need to sell that to someone. And then that's it. That's all you need. Now, can you get certified? Sure. And I probably will one day. I've taken some courses. I mean, right? That's fine. But like, I'm a teacher and I'm an educator, and I just believed that I could do this. Now, did I always believe? No. I told y'all in the beginning, I spent months. Y'all, let me tell you, I would wake up in the morning, 5 a.m. I would sit down in front of my computer. I'm like, oh, I'm boss babing it. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm doing all this stuff. And I would spend hours tinkering with my website, trying to get the font just right and trying to get the right colors on the page of my website that nobody was visiting, because nobody was visiting my website, and nobody still visits my website because nobody cares about my website, nor do I really care. Right? So I would do all of these like things. And I talked about this the other day, like the content creation hamster wheel. And I was like on Instagram and doing all the things and collaborating with this person and Facebook group and blah, right? Everything. But I wasn't helping anyone actually transform. All I was doing was feeding into my own, I don't want to say ego, but probably ego with like some of these vanity metrics to make myself feel better as I was actively procrastinating from walking in my purpose. And that is why I started this group, because I want to help you to like not do what I did, okay? Because I was trifling. Like I was just out here doing all the things and nothing at the same time. This is available to you. It can be simple and it can be easy. And actually, when you're in my program, I teach you how to sell your coaching program before you've even fully built it. You're like, what? Yeah. You build your intellectual property, that framework that I've talked to you about, and then you show up and you start coaching. It can be so simple. It's all about communicating clearly what your program promise is, articulating the value, having a framework, and leaning into your story. That's it. That is what you need to do. If you do those things, then you will be able to be out here coaching. We all started somewhere, even Brene Brown, even Tony Robbins, all of them. They had to start somewhere. All your favorite coaches, Patrice Washington, she started somewhere. Like they all had to start somewhere, right? So there's someone somewhere right now who is Googling, trying to find the transformation that you can provide through your unique story. There is someone somewhere right now who is in a lot of pain. Maybe it's physical pain, maybe it's psychological pain, maybe it's emotional pain. Because they are looking for the answer to their problem, and God created you to be the answer to their prayer. Like they're praying right now for a solution, crying out to God and saying, why is it that I can't like find relief? And God made you to do that. And I'm not saying this to guilt you into anything. I'm just saying that that is a fact, that we were placed on this earth to serve, right? I always say that, like our purpose is to do good. That's it. And the way we do good is rooted in our gifts and rooted in our unique story. And that is how we can change the world and have an impact, like one person at a time through our story. So I have shared my story countless times about how I was stuck in procrastination, stuck in overwhelm, like fearing just like a mess, like hot mess. Then I lost my mom. You guys know the story. Lost my mom, found the handwritten book that she wrote, decided to start walking my purpose. Like those years of pain, like how beautiful is it now that I can take that pain, right, and turn that into my purpose. My pain is now my purpose. And, for those of us who are believers, we have to believe, if we say that all things work together for good, right, then all means all. So like those low moments that you've experienced in your life and how God has delivered you and how you have worked to crawl your way out of that hole, right? And if you now know the strategy to be able to help somebody else do the same, I believe that we're obligated to do that. And I believe that if I didn't show up in my purpose fully every day, right, then literally people would be out here. And I'm not saying this from a place of like bigging myself up. I'm just like literally, like my purpose is to help other women walk in their purpose. And if I were continuously getting in my own way, I'm just thinking about all the women who would be in a much worse place than they are now, right? But my obedience allows them to walk in their purpose. So like my purpose is not even really just about me. It's not just about me. It's about the women that I am purposed to serve. So I said all that. I don't know what number I'm on. I got off topic. I'm just rambling. Let me see. So we talked about what's in your hand, your unfair advantage. We talked about leaning into your story, and we talked about the beginner's advantage, that you actually have an advantage, that you are actually like uniquely positioned to coach others and to lead them to that transformation. So I hope that this is helpful. This is available to you. Listen, do not look at me and be all like, oh, Dr. Kimmy, I could never do it. She's not like me. I am like you. I'm just like you. We're the same. That's why I speak your language. That's why I know what you're thinking, because like my kid woman says the same stuff to me. Like I am you. So when you see me out here doing this, what I want you to say is, if Dr. Kimmy can do it, that means I can do it too. What I have done is I've collapsed the knowledge I have about how to do this now, right? Took me years to develop that. Years. And what coaches do, good coaches, we collapse the years into a shorter time frame. Right? So years to months, so that you can get to that destination faster. Right? That's what coaches do. That's what I do. Right? So I hope this was helpful. Y'all let me know if you are on the replay, #replay as usual. Let me know if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if there was anything in particular that resonated with you. Okay? All right, y'all. Well, I have to hop off for another call. Before I go, I always want to invite you guys, a direct invitation to work with me in my program, Purposed to Profit. This is a 12-week program with 2 additional months of implementation support. And inside of Purposed, you will learn exactly the method I use to develop, package, position, and launch my high-ticket coaching program using biblical principles and the power of story selling. So I call it my profitable story selling launch, my purposefully profitable. It's all about purpose, right? And so, yeah, this is available to you, right? And if you want to be on this journey with me as your coach, walking you there, right? Where you will have the assets, right, after this program to be able to leverage and launch your business into the stratosphere, I want to help you to do that. Okay, I want to help you. So go ahead and go to productivepurpose.com/apply and apply to the program. We'll hop on a 20-minute call just to see if the program is right for you. This program will not be right for everyone, but let's see if it is right for you, if you're a good fit. We launch on March 17th. We start on March 17th. All right. So in fact, and again, I'm just saying this in full disclosure, Purposed to Profit, this is the lowest price it will ever be, because I am shifting things over the next 6 to 9 months. This will be a different program, a little bit different, and it's going to be at a much higher price. That's just because I have articulated and I know the value that I bring, and so I want to show up even more in a deeper way with the women in my program. But so this is the last time my program will look the way it does and will be priced the way it is, but you're still going to get all the value. So join me if you are ready to do this. If you feel that ugh, feel a little convicted, right? Don't run away from that, right? Like, I want to help you. This is available to you. You can do this. productivepurpose.com/apply. Hop on my calendar. We'll chat. We'll see if it's right for you. It may not be. You may decide that it isn't. Or I might decide that it's not right for you. But let's see. Let's not talk ourselves out of it. Let's not go through the motions of like, procrastination and like overwhelm and feeling stuck. Like, why not use a proven method from someone who gets it? And the really great thing about, if I do say so myself, about working with me as someone who is a coach to procrastinators, like this is what I do. Like, I get it. Like, I get all the ways that we get in our own way. Like, I get all of that. Okay. So like, that you're going to get that additional support that you need to get you to the next level. All right, y'all. I will see you guys next week. I will likely take the weekend off from posting, but I will hop back in next week. So I need to know what you guys want me to talk about. What do you guys want to learn? How can I help you? Hop in my DMs as usual. And it was so great to see you guys here. All right, guys. Peace and love.